Hello, and welcome to another episode of Automate Office Work. I'm your host, Justin. Today's episode is all about decision trees. It's a fairly easy scenario to understand, and we're not going to go too much deep into technology. This is kind of just a simple thing um, where it makes a lot of sense once you think about it that we need to be using quite simple tools, and the technology can be pretty much any kind of technology that you wish to be using. But here's the scenario. Imagine that we have all kinds of information that we need to convey to a user, often down kind of a journey. And I'm saying, imagine you have like a giant spreadsheet where you have all different kinds of scenarios, and column by column on this spreadsheet, you want to narrow down the various categories, subcategories, and even subcategories under those. You bring your user down this kind of path until finally you get them to an answer. And yeah, this is a very general thing that can be used across all kinds of Office processes. You might imagine a troubleshooting guide. Say like there's something wrong with your computer, you call up the help desk, and they're going to go through a process like this for you to determine what kind of problem you have. For example, they might want to first narrow down what kind of device you are experiencing this issue on. Is this a desktop? Is this a mobile phone, a laptop? Okay, it's on your desktop computer. What kind of application is experiencing the issue? Is it your operating system, or is it a certain kind of software? Then you get into the software. What kind of problem are you experiencing with the software? Is it a problem with like communication between the software, and maybe there's like a server involved somewhere? And then if there's a problem in that case, is the problem with, say, like your Wi-Fi or your modem, something like this. But yeah, you can imagine this it can be used in other scenarios as well. Say, for example, when I'm using in the legal industry, a person might reach out to me for legal help. And my first question to them is, which country or state are you in? Okay, we've got that. The next question is maybe what area of business law are we talking about? Is this a contract? Okay, this is a contract. A contract for what? Is this for products or services? Oh, it's for services. Okay, what type of service? You get my issue here, that if a person was to just reach out to me directly and we were to go through this like kind of a face-to-face kind of a meeting, this kind of a thing could be a massive waste of time, or at least we can make it much more efficient by automating all of this. Now, you might think that, well, we could just provide a giant spreadsheet to our users. And you might be thinking, well, users don't want to be overwhelmed with this much information. And you would be correct in assuming this, right? So how can we take a whole bunch of information that is stored in some kind of a spreadsheet or some kind of a managed bunch of data like this, and how can we convey it to a user? The answer is decision trees, and I'm going to show this today. If you're watching this on YouTube or on LinkedIn, you can see this in action. For those of you who are listening to Apple Podcasts or to Spotify, you can follow along as well. I will describe what I am showing just using words. All right. So also, if you'd like to follow along, I do have an article about this. It's on my website, automateofficework.com/scenarios/decision_trees. That's automateofficework.com/scenarios/decision_trees. Okay. I'm going to go straight to the solution. It is shown on a SharePoint page. And this time, it does look like a SharePoint page, okay? Because this is meant to just be embedded straight into a Teams SharePoint page. And I do have a drop-down menu that is shown on my page. It just says select. And this is the very first drop-down menu. when I click on select, I have three options. It says breakfast, lunch, or dinner. If I choose breakfast, now I get another drop-down menu that appears below. So my first drop-down menu says breakfast. The next drop-down menu says select. So I'll click on the second drop-down menu. It now says pancakes, eggs, and cereal are my three options in the drop-down menu. So I'm going to choose pancakes. And now I get a third drop-down that comes up, and it says maple syrup. And the other option is blueberries. I'm going to choose maple syrup. And now we are at the end of this journey. Now it shows a blue box at the bottom, and it says, enjoy your pancakes with maple syrup, exclamation point. And I have an emoji. It shows a stack of pancakes with some maple syrup. Okay, so if I were to say, choose a different meal, if I choose lunch instead, those the further drop-down menus have disappeared. And now the second drop-down menu, it says select again. And when I click on that, now I have a choice between sandwich and salad. I'm going to choose sandwich. And now I get a third drop-down menu. I can select between tuna fish and grilled cheese. I'm going to pick grilled cheese. And it does say nothing because I guess it hasn't been set up right. What if I say tuna fish? It also says nothing. I guess I did not program it with those final the final steps. Let's try the dinner one, see if that one set up. Okay, for dinner, we can choose between steak and hamburger. If I choose steak, it goes to immediately enjoy your steak. So I guess there are no options for steak, at least in this scenario. But okay, so let's say we were to be using this for those scenarios with the technical help or with the legal help. This can bring the user down a journey to point them to where they need to go next. Perhaps there is some kind of a procedure that needs to be done. Maybe we tell them, turn your computer off and back on, or fill out a ticket, or reach out to the engineering team. Similarly, in the legal scenario, we might say, here is a form for you to fill out, for you to get help from legal further. Or we might just say, make an appointment with legal, or we tell them you need to go, I don't know, do something with the privacy team or whatever they need to do next. At least we're removing ourselves from being in this in the middle. As well as, you know, culturally, if you do decide you don't want to give this directly to your end users, perhaps you could see a different situation where you give this to your team so that when people do reach out to them, your team has kind of a script to go down. They know the basic steps of how to help people, and it is your team is much more aligned on the processes that you want to follow. Okay, so let's say you want to edit this. I did make an editing interface. At the top right corner of this SharePoint page, I do have a pencil, and that is because the SharePoint page knows who is logged in. They know it's me. And I am on the list of users who has ownership or edit rights of this decision tree. So if I click on this pencil, open it in a new tab. All right, I come to a SharePoint page. It's a page for editing these decision trees. Okay, let's talk a little bit about how do you store the data in the background. And I gave the example that you could just put all of this data into a spreadsheet with various columns for your different levels and your categories. That's totally doable. You could actually connect your SharePoint to be able to extract all of that data and then to be able to build out those drop-down menus. That's actually how I created this kind of solution at the very beginning when I was asked by a team for this kind of solution. Currently, this solution, it has the data is actually built, it is stored directly in SharePoint. It's stored in a SharePoint list, and the data, I believe, it's just a JSON object, which maybe I can even show this. Let's go to my site contents. I'm going to go to decision trees, or decision tree is my document library. I've got folders, folder 1, another subfolder 1, and now I have a row for every decision tree that I have built in. I have like 3 of these here. And the one we're talking about today is LRPP. Is its unique ID. I do have a column called JSON, JSON, stands for JavaScript Object Notation. And this is a great way for storing data. Okay, I'm going to go to Edit in Grid View so that I can take a copy of all of this data. Let's see, I hope I copied that. And I'm going to go to jsonlint.com and I'm going to paste all of this data. It's all in a straight line, but I'm going to do validate JSON to make it look prettier. Now, all of that data, it is a kind of like a bulleted list. It's all the categories are indented at different levels to show us all of this data. And this is how we're storing the data in the back end. If I go back to my editing page, where is that? Aha, here it is. It also shows kind of like a bullet list. The different levels are indented at the appropriate level, and it just shows it's a much nicer interface for the user, I guess. Okay, and we can click on one of these. Like we can click on the cereal, which has children Cheerios and cornflakes, and when I click and drag this, it drags this as a group. It drags the parent element as well as all of its children, and we can move this around to anywhere else we want in this tree, and we can put it at whatever level we want it to be. So if cereal was going to be its own meal, we could put it at the level after, say, the dinner group, and we could leave it there. So yeah, you can move things around just by clicking and dragging. I would argue that this is a much better user experience for your editors than giving them a spreadsheet and telling them to, good luck. This is much more a visual experience. If I wanted to create a new one, I click on this plus new button and it says text, and I'm going to say, let's say snack. And it added snack at the top, and I can move snack around. Maybe it is under breakfast, and then snack. Let's say fruit. So I'm going to make a fruit one, and I'm going to move it as a child of snack. And then let's say, okay, yeah, I just showed that if I do click on an element that already exists, an edit screen comes up. You can edit the text. You can delete this element from here. I'm going to cancel that. I'm going to do one last one that just says, enjoy your fruit. Okay, because at the end of one of these journeys, you have to have a child that is all by itself. And so there is an actual end to the journey point. That's how we know we're at the end of the journey point. If there is an element, an item that has no siblings, no brothers or sisters, it's all by itself. It's an only child. Okay. And if I scroll down to the bottom, I do have a preview section where I do have these, the drop-down menu. Again, you can preview it right here. I'm going to go to breakfast. Now I have an extra item called snack, and I'm going to choose fruit. And I got my blue box. It says, enjoy your fruit. Okay. So this is how we set up this data. You can make it very easy for your users to map all of these things out. Then they can give it to their end users to go through this journey of making decisions and being empowered, I guess. Instead of having a face-to-face conversation with somebody, they can go through at their leisure and figure out how they need to get help to go further. Okay, so this is a very important part of automation. I know that we want to just throw this kind of thing straight to the AI and say, hey, AI, you go figure this out. I'm afraid that AI is not at the level, or at least we are not at the maturity level that we can just hand our processes to the AI. You need to get your process down. You need to go through what are the questions, the categories, how do we figure out how to get to the next step? And then I would feed this to the AI. Then the AI is not just hallucinating, but it is going through a script. And at the same time, you can see here, we don't need AI to go through this with a person. A person can just click on the drop down menus and go to the next drop down menu. You don't need to throw AI at this unless you want to, you're feeling like you want to waste your money. You can also not waste your money, and you can just show your users a drop down menu that they go through as well. Okay. So I hope this helps everybody. Let's see if there are any. I do not see any comments on the live stream on LinkedIn. Let's see. All right, we've got some people saying that they like this event, but no questions yet. Okay, so I think that's enough here. We're going to keep it short this time. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I am Justin Turman, Turman. You can find me on LinkedIn. I'm a lawyer, coder, and linguist based in Amsterdam currently. I was a corporate lawyer for 10 years, and I went on the journey to automate all of my work. And yeah, we have the tools. You need to figure out the basics. What is it that your team is trying to accomplish? How do you get these services to the people that need them in a quick, easy, efficient way? We already have the tools that you need. You might feel tempted to go straight to AI. AI is going to have a tough time to figure out what it is that the services that you need to get to your users. You're also risking that it's going to be hallucinating as well. But if you get the basics in place, you can help train the AI, and you might even figure out you don't need the AI. Okay. So, at least for a lot of our processes, I would encourage you to break it down, break down the steps that you're going through, write it down how to do them, use the basic tools that you already have to be able to solve it. And at that point, you might decide it is time to go to a vendor that can take the process that we already have and to speed it up, to make it go faster. And at that point, you're in a much better place. You can have the conversation with the vendor. Whatever the solution that they propose, you can then compare it to the process that you have. Like, okay, they're offering a solution that is $1 million. It looks very fancy, very shiny, but does it actually meet your needs? Okay. If you're able to meet your needs, even in a manual way, you can at least compare it to their solution. Their solution should be giving you the same kinds of quality outputs that you're getting in your manual process, and you should be expecting it to go faster as well. As well as at that point, you might then compare the $1 million price tag compared to, I don't know, the price of free that you get from a SharePoint solution. You might say, well, the SharePoint solution is good enough, right? Or you might decide, we need this $1 million thing and it has shown its worth. But at least you've gone through the work. You're able to make a very clear analysis, and you are a much better informed consumer, getting the exact things that you need for your users. Because at the end of the day, we are solving problems for our users. We are not just solving things because it's shiny and interesting. We're doing it because this has an impact on the lives of people and on their work as well. All right. You can find me on my website, automateofficework.com. I've got all kinds of episodes like this one. I believe this is episode, I think it's going to be 28. So all kinds of episodes. Please go check them out, and please share with your friends, and reach out to me if you have any other kind of scenario that you would like to see. Even if it's very, very complex, I am available as a consultant. I can help you. I can help you to make reality out of your dreams. If you have a dream project, you perhaps you don't even know the steps. I can help you go through the steps. We can put your dream platform in place and just help you to work at a much higher level. Even if you're not ready for AI right now, maybe we can put in a system that will get you ready for AI. We can help map out your process. We can make tools that will start getting organized data for you, which after some weeks or months, maybe then we can feed this organized data into AI, and then you'll be able to take your work to that next level. Okay. But I'm just afraid that a lot of people are waiting for AI, or they're jumping to AI, and they're disappointed right now. There is a gap between expectation and reality. A lot of times, the reality is that you have to be able to train the AI. You need to be able to do it with a mapped out process and organized data. A lot of organizations just aren't there, and then they're frustrated and disappointed. If you are at this place, feel free to reach out to me. I can help. Okay. And with that, I wish you happy automating.